It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Cody Parkey now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Gets around him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hey, 47. Here we go, 46.
Prescott now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the counter, Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Now Elliott. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bold.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 37. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And Miller with it over the middle. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Gotta go.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it.
Blue.
They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the run, this is Jackson. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Prescott on 3rd and goal. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Play action. Now Trubisky. Forced out to his left. Looking deep for Gabriel. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
You see it? Hey, 18.
They go play action. Trubisky trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him 30 yards there. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Well, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now it's Trubisky. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Red up. Switch. 18. Red up.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. Trubisky to Gabriel there for a Bears first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go. 40.
They start on the ground with Elliott. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Looking to throw, Prescott. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the 4th.
Here we go. 47, 47. 26.
Again, it's Elliott. And now running right through it. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Play action. It's Trubisky. He's going to look deep down the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
18. Ran, up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, 18. Move. 180.
Now it's Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Lock in. Hey, gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Again, it's Cohen. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Lock in.
Here's Trubisky. This will be caught at about the 5. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down.
Come on, come on. Red, touch. Hey, 18. Red, touch.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. The quick slant caught. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now first and goal. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. On first and goal, Howard. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture? That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. Parkey adds the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Here we go, 46.
He's back to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. One last shot now for Prescott. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.